Greetings everyone. Today we are in the crawl space under all that nice rock wool we just installed because I want to get some temporary lighting under here. We have to come back in and fix some joints of the vapor barrier that were not taped because we had run out of tape. So we just tacked them up in place and we promised the inspector we'd finish it, and it was all good. So it's pretty dark under here now. I've got a temporary work light going, but I picked up these temporary construction string lights that I'm gonna mount to the bottom of the girders, and I'll just kind of work it around, and then this one should finish kind of near the crawl hole and so I can plug it in, and then I'll start another one and I'll run it all the way down to the far end of the house. So let's get going on that. All right, so kind of wanted to mount these here at this level. Yesterday I realized the screws go right through the holes in the actual light mounting bracket or whatever. So I got some washers just to make up the difference of the screw. So, or for the screw head. But kind of wanted them snug, and I wanted them to lay flat, where if I had just put a bigger screw and let them hang there, they would have been crooked, and I don't know, I guess I'm just a neat freak. All right, let's move down to the next one. The string lights I picked up from Home Depot. It's their Husky brand that they have. It's 50 foot long, and it's got a light spaced out every 10 feet. So there's 5 lights. And a little bit of assembly required. And I'll show you what that looks like. So obviously you need a bulb. I got these LED retrofit ones that go in the regular bulb slots. I figured they last longer, they'll use less electricity, especially because I'm gonna have to run this off the generator to light this up under here while I'm working. So I got 60 watt equivalent LEDs, which I think only use 8 watts of power. So the next thing is the cages. They kind of fit on and snap together. And then there is a screw. There's a little slot that you snap it together at. And the bottoms as well. All right. Let me find that little packet of screws. And they are tiny. So you know, if you're under a house that has dirt, you might want to put all this together ahead of time, and just be careful when you're dragging it in, you don't smash these. These are they aren't the strongest covers. All right, let's get a screw for the other side. All right, now I'm going to seal that back up because I don't want to lose any of those dudes. like we're snapped together there somehow. Take that screw back out. Oh, I see. Okay. I'm going to hold it tight when I drive the screw in. I think this side was holding the gap open when I screwed in both sides, or the screw was kind of holding it open. That looks better. That looks tighter. All right, let's get this one mounted. Oh, sorry about the flash. Probably won't film much more with this work light, but the wire is kind of hanging down low. So I've got some plastic plumber's tape. I'm gonna go grab that, cut little pieces so I can kind of hold that up in the air. I don't want to get hooked on that when I'm crawling under the beam. That looks a little straighter. So that works pretty well. The 60s might be a little dim. I probably should have went with hundreds or 150 equivalents. But you can also see now why I wanted some light in here. Through the insulating process, a bunch of chunks fell down, and then when the raccoons tore everything up, a bunch of it fell down in here too. So I'm gonna get a little battery powered blower and get in here and clean things up once we get all this lighting up. The first run I did starts over under the master bath area, comes across the master bedroom area, and then I turned because I have a interior wall there, and I headed over to where that far wall interior footing is. That's the entrance to the crawl space where you see all the light coming out. So I went over to that, and then I turned right and went to the crawl space, and the plug ended up right there. So that's the first line. And then, in case you're wondering, these bags are leftover chunks of insulation that are a foot or more, because I will need those when we do the walls in the house. We have 9-foot walls, so 2 4-foot tall pieces of insulation, 8 foot, so I'll need a little piece at the top. So I saved any kind of cut that was a foot or more, just to save a little money when we get ready to do the walls. The next run, I got the plug down there by the crawl space, and I kind of piggybacked it with the other one that goes over the master bedroom, and then I split off, and then we're gonna jump over to that girder once we get around this wall here. So let's get going on that. So that construction lighting made a huge difference. On this run to the far end, I crossed over about 10 feet from the far wall, and then I started coming back on what would line up with that girder right there, coming back. So I've got a little bit of a dark area over there and a little bit of a dark area back in this corner. So I don't know if I'll try to add some more light or if it'll be enough. Well, we'll just have to see once I close the crawl space hatch behind me, because that's putting in a ton of light right now. So I just finished up with the inspector because I had an inspection scheduled today for them to check to make sure the insulation was in. And again, the inspector really likes what we're doing here. He sees the high-end insulation that we're using, and the quality and care that we're taking during all the installs. So another great compliment from the inspector, which is always nice. And so that's where we stand. The string lights are done under the house. It's way past lunchtime, and I didn't have really anything to eat for breakfast. So I'm glad he came somewhat early. I'm gonna go grab some lunch and probably call it a day. I don't have much to work on. My subfloor doesn't come in till tomorrow, if I'm lucky, or it'll be here on Monday. So before I take off, I'll squirt some more ammonia around the house to make sure the raccoons don't tear my insulation up tonight, and we'll call it a day after that. So I want to thank you all for watching, and we will see you on the next one.